Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new play-by-play video. Today we're going to be playing some Hercules, and as I walk out of this base, I already notice we made a little bit of a mistake. You're supposed to be going golden shard on this character, and we went horn shard, so disregard that. The lane should still be okay. We're laning into a King Arthur. They got a Circuit jungle, definitely expecting to get camped pretty hard, but yeah, we're starting off a little bit on the back foot because we built the wrong shard. Should still be, generally speaking, okay for us. This matchup is one that is pretty either or. It probably will change to be more in Arthur's favor next patch. But generally speaking, we can out-secure King Arthur, and as a result, the lane is at least always decent. Arthur's going to be looking for us and just poking us the entire time, so it won't be too fun, but this is a lane that if you can kind of just survive, you'll generally do very well later on in the game So, yeah, again, we have to worry about our lack of a golden shard. It's going to be a little bit unfortunate, but shouldn't be too bad. It's more so just to clear these buffs a tiny bit faster, which, we can forgo. Okay, you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, we can put up with this. It was actually better than I thought it would be. So we got Horn Shard, obviously. We'll be sure to use that when we can. In this kind of a lane, again, he just has better poke than I do, so almost always I kind of just want to let him be. Kind of get little abilities like that to interrupt him, but generally speaking, again, concede some pressure. Try to get him towards my tower line where I can look for pulls and stuff, and I'll probably lose out on some totems. That's kind of customary and pretty understandable in a lane like this, and I'll fight for these neutrals more so than anything. Get this totem just because he's like walking right into it. And there we go. Yeah, we got some neutral farm. Always is the good luck when you can get that. And again, we're continuing to kind of concede, get a little bit of pressure, do some bit of damage, back up, and that kind of whole nine. We'll give up a couple of minions here, nothing too crazy. Obviously, Bastet's here for these camps. We can let her do that, and that's totally fine. We'll pop our health pot in the 3 here. He looks to root himself with his 1. Doesn't end up connecting for us. I can dash him now, but yeah, just not really enough to get a kill. So, bit of a force there. You'll typically see junglers walk over and do the camps, but sometimes they look for a little bit of a gank just to kind of take the health bar off the soul laner. It's not a bad play. It is unfortunate. I kind of have just been missing so far. Hopefully that'll change soon. You have an opportunity always into a KA to kind of pull him when he roots himself with his 1. He basically just stands still. And yeah, we just didn't. So, next time we got it, right? That's the kind of goal. We'll look for a little bit of damage on him right here. And he's knock-up immune, obviously, in that 3, but still hitting him does something. So far, pretty standard lane, nothing too crazy. This guy's rushing Glad Shield, which is pretty normal on King Arthur. We're rushing Mystical Mail so we can have sustained damage. We'll be going to a Breastplate of Regrowth after that. So normal builds by the two of us. Have to be a little bit mindful for the Circuit. We do see her in mid, and yeah, this kind of lane will just continue on. Pretty boring so far. Get a bit more damage on him. I'm almost level 5. I have to also be mindful for Circuit. We'll get some mana here really quick and play for this last wave before we go get blue and reset and stuff. We see Circuit now with new ult. That actually helps us big time. What I can do here is kind of just zone. And if he dashes like that, that is a very bad idea. So remember, we get our passive proc just by taking points of damage. And Bluestone really accentuates that because it's tick damage, so it just takes of damage from gods that add to our passive. So Bluestone take his 3 is going to instantly get us to a max passive, and that obviously is not a good look for them. We might be super dead, by the way. That is unlucky. Does he have enough mana for his ult? He doesn't. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, so a little bit of a risky play for sure. They're going to get my blue, but he misses a full wave for this. Not a full wave, most of a wave for this. I'm honestly happy with that. I might not even lose my blue. Looks like Circuit came over to him. Yeah, so Circuit ran out of mana, which was pretty fortunate, and now they're both dead, huh? Oh wow, what a start. I mean, this is really good for us. We'll walk over to this guy. I'm pretty surprised Serket looked to do what she did there. Okay, she's not dead. That's alright. Because, like, it was, like, a very forced gank, and now we can just kind of auto this guy out. Remember, if we're both low on mana, or he's low on mana, his auto attacks suck, and mine are super strong, so that's always going to work out pretty okay for us. We don't get to kill him, but when he resets, it's really important to think about this. If King Arthur is going to lose a lot of health and mana just fighting me before I TP, I'm going to be able to come back with full health, full mana, and he's going to not be able to come back because he obviously just TP'd, so all of a sudden, like, just because he fought and they didn't get the kill, which, like, again, if you can't get that kill, don't go for it, right? All of a sudden, his lane is pretty doomed. He just really has nothing here. He's got some health that he's sustaining through, but he's going to be out of potions now. And then from a mana perspective, he's kind of struggling. It's not the end of the world, but it's just not good. And it's not really optimal, again, when you're already falling a bit behind. Just push him out of that. We can get some more poke. And a kind of space from him. And he's just dead to new ult. Great, Chubb. I kind of forgot we had a new but that works. So another kill there, he'll miss the majority of that wave, doesn't have teleport. We see Serket on that right side of the map, so we're good to stay here left and just continue to kind of farm and push up. Yeah, it's definitely a kind of iffy early game, but we definitely smoothed it out since then. We have enough for Mystical finally, so we can go get that. I'm going to just reset here. I know my blue and stuff is up, but I'd rather reset, go get Mystical, go do my blue afterwards. I don't want to extend the period of time I'm on the map where I'm very, very weak. Because obviously it's going to cause a lot of problems. Arthur could rotate straight to our speed there, or their speed, to help. He didn't. The guy still dies, so, no worries there. And yeah, after this Mystical, we're going to be going a Breastplate of Regrowth. After that, we've got a lot of options on what we could go. We could go a Spear Rope, we could go a Binding, we could go some Magical Defense. They're all kind of okay. This game, they've got a lot of healing, so I'll be going Pestilence, but yeah, all of those options are fine. Doesn't really matter. I always say, as long as you're going defense one way or another, you'll probably be okay. We've got a full item. He's only got a tier 2. Our fight here is much, much stronger. We can also get this meteor really easily and keep him off of it. We'll look for a little bit of a pull and just some damage. Again, when we have our passive procs, it is night and day who's the stronger person here. Can look for an ultimate here. This won't kill him, but if I get the bounce off, it does. Will not happen. That's alright. Again, he's very low, and when he's in a spot where he really wants to back but can't really back because there's minions and stuff, I mean, we're in a winning situation. So I'm not rushing to clear anything because he doesn't have TP up right now, and why not just keep him in a very low and weak spot in game state. He might have TP now. It's definitely going to be up close, or soon, excuse me. Looks like not yet, so I'm actually just going to... Okay, it is up now, but he'll still lose a little bit because, again, didn't have it right away. So he lost 2 minions right there. Yeah, again, we just keep that tension, and, like, when he comes back, but want to make sure he loses stuff. And those are the kind of spots, that's what I was trying to do earlier, but just failed at, is when he does root himself using his first ability, we have a really easy pull opportunity. He's going to get out, probably. Oh, he's just dead. Oh, poor guy. We'll let the Nuwa get that, and he just misses another wave after TPing back. This is rough. Arthur is going to be better next patch with Phoenix Shield and all that stuff, and I'll do videos obviously talking about those patches, not really talking about, but playing those patches, and I'll talk about it in those, but definitely always going to remain a risky character. Arthur before in Glad Shield meta really struggled into high CC comps that could kind of just juggle him and kill him before he could get his abilities off. I think Artio Solo is going to be broken next patch, so I think Arthur and whatnot and these Glad Shield gods will be good, but they're not going to just be like broken and break the game. This kind of issue that this guy's running into is going to persist, so keep it in mind. Stuff like Hercules can definitely work into these characters. Can back up here a little bit. I want to get this totem. Don't have a lot of mana sustain anymore. And I'm actually okay to just ult this, just because I get free damage off on him, clear the wave, and we, what is it called? We get the totem too. It's my first game on, so I think I'm a little, like, catching up on recording stuff, because usually I Q1, or at least I do some talking or something, and yeah, today I didn't, but that's alright. Secure this, really important we hold our secure so we can make sure we get these camps. We have enough for breastplate right now. We'll make sure to back after this wave. And for power spike purposes, we are doing wonderfully well. This is like a small kill potential here, so I'm gonna look for the pull, get the auto off, pop our shard right here. Auto attack, our 3 gives us attack speed, so we're gonna pop that, and he is just dead here. Oh, never mind. Good job. Get a combo on him though. He's alive too. That's fun. We had a good attempt there, right? And Arthur doesn't have TP, so we're good to push this wave. Normally, again, if he's, you know, maybe not in that instance, we don't push, but not the case here. So we force the guy one shot. I'm not going to go to their backs, even though I'm about to hit 12. Just a little bit sketchy to run to a jungle camp when you have so little mana, and Serket's going to be coming out of base with Arthur. Don't really want to risk that. I really try to stress how important it is to just play safe and how much more value you'll get out of doing that. We'll go into a Spirit Rope here, because at this point in time, like, as long as I don't die, if I can take advantageous fights like that, but just not die, we're going to get even more far ahead, but we're also shutting down any opportunity for Serket to come left. And if Serket can't come left, she can only go right or mid, which obviously poses issues for them, but at least they know it's coming, right? There's not like any ambiguity, excuse me, for where they may show up. We'll go get a ward top left here. That's a really great controlling vision spot. This guy, don't want him to just walk up for free though at the same time. Try to get the ricochet, didn't do enough there, but Serket's here and we're more than fine. The buff changed colors, the back camps that is, so obviously she had just done it. That's all best if she gets that kill. We did some good poke to her, so maybe will be enough, maybe won't. Arthur's coming back to help them, but now we push the wave, so this rotation by him is really stretched. And especially when he's behind, this is not one you want to make. Probably just end up dying, but even if he hadn't, we're right there for the entry point. And I had to like hold here for a little bit. A little bit unlucky, that's alright. And we'll just go back to wave here. Again, we can do bull as well, but I want to push this first because I don't think he's got teleport up. So if I push this, he's going to miss whatever's left here, and then we can do that bull anyways. Yeah, it should be good that way. This horn shard ended up working out fine. I thought not going golden shard would be a big problem, because historically it was, but I hadn't really played Hercules before the patch, the 9.5 revert patch. So back then, if you didn't have golden shard, good luck, but don't really need it as much anymore. Which is good to know, because I thought it was probably still core. We get this blue super easily. One thing that's so great about this character and why I think he's really, really strong right now is that, as before, you can just kind of out-secure people on everything. Only gods that can really rival you in secure is Sun Wukong if he looks for a knock-up with his cudgel afterwards. Amaterasu with her Shining Light ability, and that's really about it. Osiris can make things work with his tether and the damage reduction on that, but Herc really just has one of the better, if not the best, solo lane secures. So definitely is strong for just that aspect of just farming, playing safe, continuing to do it. The only risk is obviously you're dashing in, and that can be definitely a problem, or ulting, and that can also definitely be a problem. But more often than not, I'm very much a Herc fan, and I think this god is super, super good. We're up 3.5 levels, 2k, so we're kind of good to like run around the map a little bit if we want to. I really say with rotations, you just don't want to force them to make them feel awkward. So if I rotate mid here, does this look awkward? Well, it looks like we could get a kill, right? Serket's really low. She's going to be hopping out. Serket's dead now, but now Sobek's under some pressure. He's going to kind of get escorted out, and that's fine. But I want to make sure that any rotation I'm doing, I don't feel like I'm chasing like a crazy amount. I stole a chest, and that's honestly happy enough for me. I lose very little for this, so yeah, I didn't get anything, but I lost 1 minion, right? And I'm going to lose 3 of gold or something, but I don't really care. That's not a big deal. So as long as those rotations don't feel very forced and I'm not wasting a bunch of time, and again, if I rotated into mid after seeing that and tried to get something on the Sobek, yeah, that'd be a forced and bad rotation. But it should feel really natural. Like, people ask me, when do I know how to rotate? Like, how do I rotate? Sure, there's something to be said about, yeah, you just push the wave. But like, look at what this Arthur did. He pushed his wave, and then he rotated, but there's nothing really here. And as a result, it's just bad, right? So he loses his tower. Now he's going to get engaged on. Get a beads here. Get an ult there. Uh-oh. We're fine, though. Awesome. Good job, guys. Imagine how awkward that'd be if after all that. Now that was a good dive, but imagine if after all that I just died. That would have been tough stuff. We'll get his blue here, and Serquet's dead. Obviously, I'm not really worried about staying around somewhat low. But so that's really what it comes to. Obviously, if you have pressure and you're able to just clear the wave first, rotating is a very easy decision, but that's so sad. That's why I talk about holding your secure. But generally speaking, you can use your teleporter that you have on your person, or you can use the teleporter in the lane to head over to dual lane, head over to gold and whatnot, or just walk over to mid after you clear, and you just have to make sure that it's like fine to do. So our next item here, by the way, note that this guy has double crit on Serquet, and on her, it's actually going ability based. Okay, well, he might go fail now. That's a weird build. He's doing well, so we can totally go spectral. It's not as prevalent when it's on just the assassin. You know, if that's a Mercury, I'm always going spectral. But it's on a Serquet, which is still valuable, but not as valuable in my opinion. We don't have to go spectral, but we definitely can. I'll rotate over to this. So going some kind of magical defense into a spectral is pretty customary, though, generally. Because most ADCs will go crit. This game, again, didn't happen, but that is typically what you would do. So generally, yeah, going Pestilence here, which I mentioned I'd be going. You could go Onis if they didn't have healing, but going Pestilence and then going a Spectral is pretty customary. You could also go Binding into a Pestilence or something. You could go Binding into Spectral and kind of say, I don't need that much magical defense. That's totally fine. Also is fine to sell Mystical late for one of those items. Again, as long as you have like a healthy spread of physical defense. And you don't always need as much magical defense. It just kind of depends on the character you're against. We're also very obviously getting ganked here by the Serquet. I'll try to just kill him in time. Won't be able to, unfortunately. Well, this guy dies. That's fine. Again, I was super trolling that. It's okay. It was fun. We had fun. But yeah, we'll go into Pesty here, and that'll be that. MB. He's owning him, though. Good job. We got Pyro and P. Yeah, no, that was a very stupid. The moment someone starts to fight you like that, you obviously just dash away. And I could have walked away and held my ult for an immunity, but I kind of just wanted to have fun. So we'll dust that one off and kind of carry on. So yeah, again, I don't really think I care about the crit that much this game. Also, Archers is good. It just doesn't seem like Serquet's going to be too much of a target. If she is later on me, well, because I'll get taunted, I'll get ulted in a lot of these fights, but I'm not worried about like consistent, continuous auto attack, especially when she doesn't have that much pen yet. So my Fizz defense alone should be able to kind of carry. I mean, we might have a chance here to see. She is running all the ways away. Steal the blue here. And yeah, I mean, she's really not trying to take the fight, so I think that's pretty telling about how this is going to go. But the point is that I was making is that we can actually just go Archers as well here. And again, kind of just ignore going into that Spectral. It should feel fine doing that. For a starter item, you could go Bluestone Brooch, but I think Redstone is just better on this pick. Generally speaking, you want to go Brooch on characters that have... After it got nerfed a couple of times, it's really close, and generally Redstone is just better, but you want to go Brooch on characters that have some power and pen to their builds and whatnot, which I just don't have. So if I was playing, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a Bluestone character you can even go Brooch on at this point. Like if you were playing tier and you had a couple of damage items, which some people do, you could do that. If you were playing even a full tank tier build with like Pridwin and stuff, it could be fine. Not really Herc. I don't know. Herc, you'd much rather get Redstone because you don't have the poke application. That's another really important thing. So Sundering Axe, for example, I build on Osiris and I build on Achilles, and I recommend it on those two gods because you have accessible poke with long-ranged abilities. On Hercules, you don't have that. All of your poke and damage is pretty committal. And that doesn't mean that the character is bad or anything, but it just means that certain things like Bluestone Brooch, which is generally a more poke-esque item, just doesn't really fit, and you'd rather go something like Redstone. Now, why would you go Brooch on tier? Well, sometimes you just kind of have to build to just kill someone. And I guess the same can be sort of said about Hercules, but he's a little bit more shifty more often than not just because of how people draft into tier versus Herc. It's usually way more severe for tier. So stuff like that. Again, you really don't go wrong with either one you build, so it's not a huge issue. Just ult for where he's going to dash towards, and that's pretty smooth. We're almost 20. I want to make sure we just go get that, and then fire is almost certainly our objective. Knowing our draft right now, we don't actually have a lot of burn. Nuon minions are helpful, but they're not great. And we have a Marty, so it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. We might actually just push down a lane first and do gold and whatnot first. And if we do that, that's fine. We'll upgrade our TP here. Didn't want to have the mess there. Get redstone as well, 2 wards, and the build is in full force. 263 prots. We'll let the prots go away. 203 prots, 156 magical, and again we have an increase of prots with our third ability of 60 each. So factor in that we'll have that on in the fight, and you become quite tanky with redstone prots. This build may not look the tankiest, but it definitely is up there with the character. So Pyre's up, gold's coming up. Excuse me, other way around. We'll make sure we kind of stay around. We don't want them to do pyro. It doesn't seem like they're going to do gold or even contest it. So I just want to kind of be a walking ward in this area. And it should be pretty smooth sailing for us. Again, we're going to kind of path safe here, and we just sort of wait. We just want to cut off that opportunity for them to do an objective. And it looks like they weren't even super pressed to do it anyways. They're looking for a pick on us, but we just walk away a little bit, and there's really nothing to be done. Serket's going to be top left, Arthur's going to stay left. In this spot here, we can actually just push down mid right now, and the idea is that we force people away, or we could just go to Pyro. So if we push down mid, we have the advantage of just forcing people who are in these side lanes to back and defend, and then we can go Pyro altogether, or we can just go straight to Pyro, and that's also fine. Serket had a good flank there. Do a little bit of damage to him. Again, we're a great zoning character, but we don't have crazy secure this game, so if we do an actual fire, it's going to be a lot more bait people in, CC people, and then bring them into the fight stuff. We force his ult. Bastet's ganking left. I can walk over there. Again, it is a little weird just because we don't have the burn on fire that you'd like to have with the draft typically. You want to shred auto attack hunter, which we don't have, and you also want... I mean, Nua's okay, but yeah, we just don't really have a shred auto attack hunter, which is a little bit annoying, but isn't the end of the world. It's a good juke by him. Pull him back. Really don't want to ult this. Nice job. I probably should have just to make sure he lived, but he did. He lived anyway, so we're fine. I'll TP over right side. I'm going to call for them to do fire. The only person who can come over is on her. Obviously, Serket, she TP'd, but I'll walk over to that teleport and kind of cover that base in a second. Threat levels, I guess you could see the Serket on her jump on me right now and look for me as a pick. It's not the worst play in the world, but I'm kind of just a bit too ahead. Don't think it'd work too well. If they were a little more even, I think that's something to worry about, potentially. We see on her top right on that ward, so we're good to go, but generally what I'd be doing here is just looking for a zone. We just zone whoever's the most likely to come in. So we see Serket is kind of out. We get this guy's pluck. I'm going to dash forward, pull him back here, and we kind of just walk in front. Can walk up now again, and wasn't enough to keep him out all the way, but hopefully it's enough to get this. It was, and yeah, now this guy's just kind of dead. The better play would have been to dash his pluck. I just didn't, to be honest, which was kind of a mistake. Because we dash his pluck and we're both pushed back. And then I can just pull him back again, and he probably doesn't get to that in time. Nonetheless, though, we still got it, so it's all good. But yeah, you can either look for the fight or just look to burn the objective if I'm keeping someone out like that. They're going to push left here. I think that's fine. It's not the best Phoenix, but we're ready for it. So no problem with that. I can look for a little blink here and just try to force something a little bit too close. That's alright. We got some good Phoenix damage. This isn't terrible. Just have to kind of keep doing it. Serb is screwed here, but it does open up the Phoenix, so that's good. Nice, okay. I mean, that works out. I'll push the mid wave here. I know they're a little bit split. It should be fine. I've got an ult ready to barrel down mid. But we'll just kind of hit this and keep this going. Very, very tanky, so it's pretty hard to die right now. The worst thing I could do, though, is commit my dash forward if it's not very good. Because me just walking and being a body and keeping my dash up brings that threat, and it kind of forces them to respect, like, whatever we're going to do. And that's just, like, how we're able to stay super safe. Get a pull on this guy was very best at all. He's just dead. We can go right now. And this should be a really easy tier 2. Normally, I wouldn't make a call like this, but with 2 dead, the threat levels are just super low. Phoenix is a little ambitious here because we don't have a wave, so I'm just going to call first to do gold. We got 2 Phoenixes, we got to go tier 2, all that stuff. I'm at 3,400 gold. I'm going to reset TP back to that ward. Don't have anything else to really hold for. We can just go into that binding like I mentioned, and I'm going to TP to that spot. This is not a good idea, but it's fun. So that's how we're carrying ourselves on this one. Uh-oh. Alright, we're going to run towards this Hell. She's way easier for us to get on. And she is dead. This guy's also dead. Isn't that awesome? This character is really fun. Does a lot of damage, and as long as you're like holding your abilities for when it's like good to use them, and I'm not dashing in and missing the dash, getting Sobek plucked and anti-yield and all that stuff, you're gonna be able to like really cast super hard. Get over that guy's Fire Blink. It's a great ult. Oh, I missed. No. He's still dead though. Nice job. We do a lot of damage. I'm top damage this game? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't think I would be, but that was fun. I felt like this game was kind of boring, honestly. Not like that it was bad, but it just was very patient, which is a good thing. I mean, that's how you're supposed to play. So maybe that's just like the YouTube part in me shining a bit, because this was a really solid, like, steady match, and that's an ideal like thing you have. Get a good pluck there. We get an ult off here. Nobody dies, but we do force a lot of health bars to be low. This is beads too. He's gonna live, which is all right. We don't have a ADC anymore, but this is still doable. We get a pluck on him. He's dead. I love this character so much. So much fun. That's why him not being in Smite 2 yet is such a crime to me. I feel like he's one of the most popular, fun characters. I might be wrong on the popular part, but he at least used to be. And he's like iconic. I don't know. Okay, we should push right. I don't think we can end here with this assortment of gods. We got a wave though coming in. Push this guy forward with the Fire Blink, and he should just be popped. We're okay, though it's close. Nice, there we go. We did it. We have done it. That was really fun. We actually just like never left after we TP'd. That was awesome. The TP play worked. Whoever put that word was the MVP. GG. We'll go take a quick check at the stats. But this character's still pretty okay, is the vibe I'm feeling, the vibe I'm getting. So definitely recommend him. By the way, if you guys are wondering about like some of these other characters, like I know people want me to play Arthur, I know people want me to play an Osiris game. Some other characters, I'm kind of holding them off for the patch, because I think they're going to be like the most changed, so I want to make sure I get videos on them. Hercules specifically, I don't think will be changed too much by the items, but still is a really good pick, still will be really strong. If you like Herc right now, you should continue to like him. Do recommend playing him. We did 34k, 40k missed, 3 wards, so big vision guy this game, clearly. And yeah, 3,300 MMR. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys all sometime soon. Peace out and have a wonderful day.